Last one we'll talk about is the civil war that's going on in pro golf. We're talking about the PGA versus the LIV, the Saudi Super League, John. All these guys, there are now 29, have jumped from the PGA Tour to go to the LIV Tour for the guaranteed money. The latest is the kid that just won the British Open. It's a shocker. Cam Smith from England.
Really? Oh, wow.
Is elected. He is going effective, I think it's on Labor Day weekend in September. He's going to join the LIV Tour. Well, the LIV has filed an antitrust lawsuit against the PGA for what they've done with the suspension of all the players. That's a court case that's going way down the road. Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson are heading up that lawsuit. The LIV also filed asking this week for an injunction in a court in San Jose that would have allowed players to come back and play in the FedEx Cup, which is the points championship at the end of the season. And the judge just nailed him. The judge rebuked everything that was in the LIV request for an injunction. And he told those players that jumped to Saudi Arabia, this is not an emergency financial situation for you. You're getting all this guaranteed money to play in Saudi Arabia, whether you do good or not. By the way, you players were part of the policy tour board that developed the rules for the PGA. You signed off on all the paperwork about what getting a PGA Tour card should mean. And then you turned around and you violated all the things you proposed as a member of the policy tour board. You don't deserve to come back here because you turned against the deal that you negotiated yourself. So he refused to issue the injunction, and the FedEx Cup tournament has begun. This is worth $75 million, the final group of tournaments. So the LIV is out there. The fact that they have raided the PGA, they have stripped mine, the Pro Tour, of an awful lot of quality names led by Phil Mickelson. So this is not a good situation for the PGA in terms of how they're going to be viewed going forward with a bunch of unknowns. It's a bad situation for the guys who went to LIV because they've disappeared off the radar. You turn on PGA Golf on Sundays to watch the final round. Who are these guys? Because all these marquee names have left. So it's just a really ugly time, and I see no solution to this scenario at all. I don't think there'll be any negotiations between Greg Norman and the Saudi group and the PGA Tour and their commissioner, Jay Monahan, who has just been steadfastly opposed to everything that the LIV has done. So story is not over, but these guys are not going to be allowed to come back and play.
Wow. I mean, this is a little bit like when the USFL was created. And so you have a competitive league, players jump and ship, but maybe this might be a little different because of all the money that's being provided. It seems like it's an endless stream.
Well, it is. And they do not have a big TV contract here in the States. Donald Trump's courses are hosting a number of the tournaments, and there have been a lot of protesters there. It's golf, yes, but it's not play to win golf because you're getting paid whether you finish first or you finish 41st. You're getting a large amount of money. And I think a lot of people are offended by this whole situation. They've held a couple tournaments here in the States already, one in Portland and one at Bedminster, Trump's course in New Jersey. And the PGA guys that played in the LIV tournaments here in the States got harassed while they're on the course. They got mocked by the fans, and there were not big galleries at all. Been criticized by the media. Those guys didn't want to talk to the media about why in the world would you do this to your career. You know, and Phil Mickelson has just been horrid in his 3 tournaments that he's played in the Saudi Super League. He's just not competitive. Lucky for him, there's no cuts in the LIV tourney. He would not have made the cuts. So to me, it's all about money. It's all about greed. And it just looks bad, sounds bad, feels bad. And it's impacted the PGA Tour now because when you look at the leaderboards outside of Rory McIlroy, do you recognize many of the names atop the leaderboards in the PGA? Because 29 guys have jumped to the Saudi Super League. Story's not over, but I don't know that the story is going to get any better.
Wow. I mean, a lot going on in the PGA too. You know, when I watch golf now on TV, I'm always rooting for our local guy, Xander Schauffele. I mean, he's having a heck of a run, but some of the competition is kind of cleared out of the way.
I have to say the competition's been watered down because there's a lot of guys trying to make their way on PGA Tour. But I think we would all punch up tournaments to see what Dustin Johnson would do, to see what DeChambeau would do, to see what Phil would do, to see what Tiger, if he could play, would do. And now most of those guys are gone, and that's really sad. And I think the other thing that's offensive is a whole bunch of these guys, when the LIV Tour went public, a lot of these guys ripped it, said, no, I'd never do that. Why would I do that? Virtually all those guys, led by Phil, led by DJ, led by Brooks Koepka, all those guys have gone. I guess everybody's got a price. It's really, to me, it's a sad commentary about the individual. Obviously, it's impacted the PGA.